Hello, I'm Joy, and welcome to The Cloud. Weather alert. The cloud is in your area. Please follow the security measures. Lock all doors and windows. Turn off all lights. Stay indoors. Do not touch. That was too quick. The cloud is nearly above your house. What will you do? The weather. The alert said to lock the door, so I'm just gonna open the door. You open the door and dare to go against common sense. Your curiosity has taken over your mind, and you've never seen or heard of any casualties involving the cloud. Maybe it's all just a myth. Beyond the door, the rain looks just like any other, falling onto the empty street. Touch the rain or walk outside? We're just gonna touch the rain. You raise an arm, letting a single drop land on your skin. Nothing. You shake it off and bring your hand to your nose, checking for any chemical scent. The liquid has no smell at all. It reinforces the thought that everything you thought you knew about this phenomenon might be nothing more than a myth. I just like this typing sound, this. I'm gonna try to skip it. Walk outside. Defying all the warnings you've heard, you step outside, letting the rain drench you. You stand there for a few seconds, testing it, determined to prove that it was all a myth. You stare in the rain. The rain surrounds you, and something starts pulling you up. Pulling is so strong that in a matter of seconds, you're inside a cloud. Your flight halts abruptly in the darkness. You feel movement and see blinking lights. Lights? Oh. Achievement. The lights. You discover the series of flashing lights, but what do they mean? Suddenly, the thing in front of you flashes a sequence of lights. They're so bright, it feels like they enter your body. Your head is heavy, and you can't breathe properly. You close your eyes and saw yourself back on the street. In a second, your body's still aching from the weird flashes and the sensation of something moving inside your skull. Continue. You feel tired, but you head back home. For some reason, the light coming out of it makes you feel worse. You shake and feel extremely weak. Anger begins to fill up inside you. You could rip your own flesh apart. You just want to hunt and kill anyone in your path. Okay, so we're kind of a zombie. What if we open the door again and you only touch the rain and then go back inside? Yeah, now get back inside. You laugh it off and head back inside. It seems like it was all a joke. A story passed down for generations to scare people. Feeling confident there's nothing to fear, you turn back to the living room. Suddenly, your movement is halted by something cold against your leg. You look down and see a translucent tentacle emerging from the door, wrapping around your leg. We know what happens when it takes us up into the cloud and turns us into a zombie, so resist. You won't let it take you. You try to hold on to anything nearby, even the door itself. At first the water drags you around like a snake, but as soon as it notices your strength opposing its pull, it changes drastically. Like an angry animal, the translucent tentacle lifts you and slams you against the walls of your house. Violently, your weight and strength are nothing against it. Damn. Damn. You are found lifeless. Your body completely made unrecognizable by someone with uncontrollable rage. The killer is still on the loose. Damn. Okay, let's lock the door but not the windows. What should I do now? Keep the lights on. I want to see what happens. The warning thing is exaggerated to make sure everyone is safe. It's probably completely fine to leave the lights on. The TV will keep broadcasting the warning, so you should find something to distract yourself while you wait for things to go back to normal. You exercise. Need some gains. Should probably go to the gym myself. Some exercise would do good. You stretch and decide to do some crunches. You can see the window every time your head gets up. 1, 2, 3. You start counting movements in your mind. Everything looks and feels safe. The soothing sound of the rain is only interrupted by the impression that you heard something yelling on the street. The smart thing is probably not to look, just ignore it. But we're not smart, so we're gonna look. Amazing. You get there quickly and see the blurry movement of a man that has the same features as a zombie. You lock the window and see the thing hit the glass and leave bloody fingerprints all over it. The monster sees you and tries to bite you through the window, smearing his face against the glass. It starts headbutting it to break the window and get inside. Punch it. Okay, you punch it hard, but it does nothing. The monster doesn't notice how the sharp glass is digging through the flesh of its neck. You grab its head and try not to get bit and use your own weight to pull it down. The broken glass works like a saw, finally ending the monster as it cuts a path between the vertebrae. You fall down with the skull of the creature in your hands, trembling in fear. Call the authorities. You call the authorities and tell them what happened. After showing them the creature, they take it away for testing. Soon they show the public what can happen if you don't follow the rules. You are lucky to escape without a fine. You are gonna fine me? Since it was your fault for not following the correct procedure, but this experience was punishment enough. What happens if I lock the door? Right. Grab a lantern. People usually use candles when it rains. Like this, but it's probably the same as using a small lantern. The focused light grants more long-range vision in the dark. Okay, so there are the 3 different options. I need to remember that. You can first check the street. You play with the flashlight a bit. Okay, well, that was a jump scare. You play with the flashlight a bit, pointing it in all directions in the street, suddenly hitting a distant human-shaped silhouette. Despite being far away, it reacts to the light and starts twitching and shouting. You triggered it. You triggered something inside it. Get ready to defend yourself. Damn! We are ready. You go for the kitchen knife, wrapping your fingers around it as you can almost feel the creature charging through the street to jump inside your house. It bursts the window open and roars loudly when it spots you. You have to defend yourself. Use the knife. You jump towards it, hoping to damage it. You avoid the bite and pierce the neck, but the monster ignores the pain. Blood doesn't come out like it would have from a human. You find the proper balance to kick the monster into the kitchen and gain a bit more space to defend yourself. The blood of the abomination is absurdly fast to coagulate when exposed to the air. The neck wound is covered in a thick red layer. So it doesn't care that we just stabbed it. Try again. It's life or death. You stay in a firm stance, waiting for it to attack. It comes fast and you do your best to grab the head and keep it away while the knife goes straight to the face. You quickly pierce the side of the jaw, damaging the tendon. With a swift motion, you pull it out and stab the shoulder multiple times, weakening the arm. The monster doesn't even realize it lost the strength to bite. Its face is no longer a weapon and you use this opening wisely to kick it away. You hold the creature's good arm when it charges. and try to aim for the heart, piercing multiple times until you're lucky to hit it in the right place to pierce the heart. It works like a button to turn it off. The monster falls to the ground with its heart badly damaged, but it's still alive, halting all the movements to focus on healing its wounds. You stay there, making sure not to let it heal with the quick coagulation, and wait until you call for the authorities. Call the authorities, and it's the same. It's the same ending as before. So we call the authorities and tell them what happened. They don't give us a fine because this experience was punishment enough. Okay. What if instead of defending ourselves, we just hide and turn off the lights? Oh, okay. If I see this in the night, I think those are eyes. I'm just gonna be scared. Hell nah. You quickly lock the window and turn off everything you can and run to your room. You pull the furniture to barricade yourself behind the door. The adrenaline grants you strength to complete the task in seconds. Tonight you're staying under the bed, unable to sleep properly. You're paranoid, but you made a promise that you won't leave this room for anything in the world. You will ignore anything unusual and follow the rules that were broadcasted on TV. Well done. The desperate silhouette outside fades in the rain. After some time, the cloud is gone. You can go back to your daily routines and safe sound. Hey, so that's a good ending. Okay. I wasn't expecting to get the ending so soon. What if I check the roof? You don't want the rain invading the house from any unseen spot, so you start walking around looking for any hole that might cause a leak. The lantern makes it feel like you're in a ghost hunting show. It adds a bit of fun to the experience. Keep looking. You keep looking. It looks like everything is intact, but you have to be sure. Your inspection is halted only by a suspicious noise coming from the kitchen. Instantly turning around, you hear the footsteps of someone invading your house. So I think if we hide in a bathroom, that's gonna be the good ending again. So, yeah, see who's coming. You feel like you're being watched, so you quickly point your lantern towards the hall. There's a man there. He invaded through the open window. He seems hurt. He's shaking and his wide eyes reflect the light of the lantern. Before you can say anything, he grabs his own flesh and tears it apart. His scream turns into a ferocious roar and he moves forward with wide steps. The seemingly fragile man jumps at you like a beast. His forehead hits yours like a hammer and his weight pushes you against the wall. He bites you quick like a dog, then stretches back and punches your head against the wall. You land a punch, but then he turns his face quick enough to bite your hand, while digging through your skin with the tips of the fingers. You're covered in warm blood. The warmth and pain stays with you to your last breath as the pharaoh man keeps punching. You're found lifeless, your body completely made unrecognizable by someone with uncontrollable rage. Killer is still on the loose. Okay, this time we're just gonna check the bathroom. Ah. The tiny bathroom feels different from the rest of the house, but you can't tell why. It's a sensation, something in the air. The light of the lantern is doubled by the mirror. But now the glass feels like a portal to a similar place, with a doppelganger looking at you from the other side. Touch the mirror. You touch the mirror with the tip of your finger. Noticing it's just glass, there's no other version of you there. The sound of the rain makes you relaxed and sleepy. Maybe the shadows too. This sudden sleepiness takes over quickly and you notice your eyes closing with your reflection vanishing in the dark. You wake up on the bathroom floor, unharmed. The cloud is gone and everything is safe once again. You get up and see that your fingerprints left marks on a mirror, but you don't remember drawing that. Rows and rows of lines of dots that you will copy and do your best to decipher. I, okay. I mean, it's a weird ending, but it's not horrible. We didn't die, so I'll take that as a win. What if we illuminate the sky? You approach the window, pointing the lantern up, trying to see if it has enough power to reach the mysterious phenomena above your house. For a second, it seems like it won't be able to, but you're not sure. You might just need to focus a bit. Change focus. You adjust the lantern until the light is strong enough to get near the grey cloud. It seems that something emits a light back from the cloud, like a tiny bright star. You turn your lantern off to see if it's somewhat sort of reflection, but the light blinks for less than a second. The sight freezes you from inside. For now, you know you've been seen, but whatever that is. Shine the light back. You dare to turn the lantern on and blink it once. The light up there answers by blinking once too. Blink twice. You blink 2 times. The light answers by doing the same. Blink back. You dare to turn the lantern on and blink it once. The light up there answers by blinking once too. Well, blink as much as you can. You decide to go crazy and turn on and off the flashlight to create a sequence of quick flashes. When you get tired and turn it off, the light up there is also turned off. The rain stops immediately and the entire world is thrown into an eerie silence. Jesus. You freeze. You stand there for minutes, unable to do anything else but hope for the best, for it to be your lucky day. Suddenly, in the horizon, you see the light of day. It seems that the cloud is going away. You're so used to it that you could swear it's leaving way sooner than it used to. The light of day arrives and the entire town is filled by it. The cloud is gone. You're safe. The weird light trick that you didn't cause any major problem. But now you swear you will follow the correct procedures if you ever find yourself under this mysterious event again. Okay, so by blinking as much as we can, we just somehow made the rain and the cloud disappear. Okay. What happens if we blink 3 times? You decide to blink 3 times. As soon as you do it, the light in the sky disappears and the rain stops immediately. The world is thrown into silence. You look around and look up again. The cloud seems a bit wider than before. Within moments, the thing that you and everyone feared is at ground level. You feel cold, desperate, and you know that it doesn't matter if you keep the lights on or off anymore. You turn them on and walk to the door to see if it's really locked. That's when smoke-like air enters the house through the thin space between the door and the walls. You look back, and it's also happening to the window. The cloud is here. You hold your breath and run through the front door. As soon as you step outside, the silence is broken by the sound of people coughing, screaming, and running. Some even got to their cars and tried to drive beyond the reach of this thick fog. You can't hold your breath anymore, and breathing in teaches you something new. There's oxygen in the fog. You feel like an army of ants has invaded your body through your lungs, each imaginary ant chewing on your flesh from inside and digging deeper. You can't even scream. They took over your lungs first. The microscopic chaos in the air is only interested in doing the most damage possible. so you're even a bit thankful that you won't be conscious to hear people trying to scream while they twitch their bodies in the fog. Hours later, the only sound in town comes from animals. It's as if the fog wants to kill every person it could touch. The authorities came quickly. They'll have a lot of work to create a story to explain why an entire town died. Okay, so in one ending, by blinking as much as we can, we save the whole town. And by only blinking 3 times, we kill everybody. Ha. Huh. Good to know. Okay, what if we just lock the door into windows? You turn the key and lock the doors and windows, filling the house with a sensation of safety. What should you do now? Turn off the lights. You quickly press all of the switches around the house, making it as dark as a cave. The low light coming through the window is more than enough for you to see your way around. Now we wait. Sit and use headphones. Who are you? Your relaxation is interrupted by someone, desperate, knocking at the windows and doors. The person seems to be suffering. The voice, mixing with the sound of the rain, makes any word hard to distinguish. How do you react? We ignore. Well done. Hey, good ending. The desperate silhouette outside fades in the rain, and after some time, the cloud is gone. You go back to the daily routine, safe and sound. What if we tell them to go away? The supposed victim suddenly becomes full of rage. The person isn't knocking anymore, but kicking and punching the door with power. You get up and the third hit brings the door down. It's too strong to be a normal person. The silhouette of a man comes in, scratching the walls like an animal. Before you can do anything, he moves with speed and enters the dark. The big pupils and the shadows probably see in the dark, but you don't. There's no time to fight back. No object to grab, no space to dodge. He bites you quick like a dog, then stretches back and punches your head against the wall. You land a punch, but he turns his face quick enough to bite your hand, while digging through your skin with the tips of his fingers. In seconds, your insides are violently removed and thrown around like red and white ropes. You're covered in warm blood, with the pain staying with you until your last breath. You're found lifeless, your body completely made unrecognizable by someone with uncontrollable rage. The killer is still on the loose. Yeah, it's the same ending as before. So essentially, just ignore them and you'll be fine. Open the door and save them. Yeah, let's try that. Someone is in danger. You're sure of it. You rush to the door, completely taken by empathy, and open the door. Silhouette trips and falls inside the house, right next to you. You close the door to prevent anything else from getting inside. I would turn on the light. You flip the nearest switch. Light fills the room and there's something there that looks like a person. It seems to be a man. Someone caught by the cloud in the middle of the streets. The light makes him shake and his eyes open wide, his hair falling over his shoulders and face. On his knees, he looks at the light as if it's the source of unmeasurable horror. He raises his hand to touch his shaky face and uses all his strength to poke through his cheeks, grabbing the flesh and ripping it apart. You try to interfere, tell him to stop, pull him away from the light, but his hands move with a ferocious strength and he removes the flesh, showing all his teeth, screaming with rage. Seemingly fragile man jabs at you like a beast. His forehead hits yours like a hammer, and yeah, we already had this one. So we just die again. Okay, so last time they freaked out because we turned on the light. So what happens if we just help them up and leave the light off? You reach for a person in the dark. It seems to be a man, and you help him get up. Please don't turn on the lights, he begs with a distorted voice, sounding like something is stuck in his throat. You ask what happened, so you help him get to the kitchen to sit on the chair. It's the first time you've seen a person who walked under the cloud. Feels like a perfect chance to understand it. And that thing out there, I've been tracking it, researching it. It isn't a natural phenomenon like our parents heard from years ago. It's out of control. It's stable now, but it can change. The man has a hard time breathing, but is passionate about what he has to say. You listen with patience, as it's useless to call an ambulance now. They won't drive under the cloud. When you're under it sometimes, I think it thinks you're fit for it. It takes you up there and you see the truth. It took my brother and I couldn't stop trying to understand it since then. It chooses people, but we can't tell anyone about the light. He relaxes his body without strength to move or talk anymore. All he can do is breathe. Worried about his last words, you get a blanket and cover him completely, to keep him from seeing light after the event outside happens. Yes, he whispers, seeing the blanket. As soon as the cloud is gone, you call an ambulance and explain everything. It takes less than 5 minutes for the siren to be heard. As soon as you open the door to meet the paramedics, everything goes dark. You wake up on your couch and there's nothing in the house. No signs of the man. The blanket is in your room as if it wasn't touched at all. The closest neighbors say they saw a vehicle stopping by your house right after the cloud went away, but it wasn't an ambulance. It was a black van with tall men in suits. Okay. This is by far my favorite ending up until now. Like, some kind of government taking the guy you try to help because you know something that you don't. I mean, that's cool. What if we turn off the lights, lock the windows and doors, and then look out the window? In the low light, you can see the cloud outside. It's big and gray with a dark spot in the middle. It looks like a gray egg yolk covering the entire town in a rain made of mysterious liquid. You wonder why you grew up hiding from it, seeing everyone hide from it as well. It looks harmless, even less dangerous than the average rain. There's no thunder in the cloud. Looking at it. What? The more you look at it, the more it feels hypnotic. It's soothing. Maybe it's the rain or something in a vast grey formation above everyone's head. Slowly, you fall asleep, but it feels different from a regular sleep at night. You're aware of everything. In the dark you see before your closed eyes feels like a screen about to be turned on. Soon, you see something, even with your eyes closed. Green particles moving around and taking the form of unknown letters, an alphabet. Words made of green symbols running through your inner screen, getting faster and faster. The words get smaller and distant, abundant like ants inside the hive. They move with impressive speed, then everything goes dark. It feels like a couple of minutes before you start having a crazy dream. It's fun like a video game. You feel thrilled in this exaggerated simulation. In this fun dream, you're this alien entity fighting hordes of enemies with your abnormal strength. It feels like you can win a war alone, even against the upgraded enemies, like the ones that can shoot projectiles. Game over. You'll be respawned. The upgraded units took you down with their long-range weapons. You fall and see a game over screen. In reality, you were shot 12 times until someone finally aimed at your skull. You were in the middle of the street, attacking people like an uncontrollable beast. The authorities took you down, claiming that stress led you to have a psychotic state. I like that it says you'll be respawned, though. What if we lock the doors on the windows, but keep the lights on? You notice water leaking in from outside. What will you do? Watch and see what happens. That's cool. Excuse me? What? The liquid moves slowly, gathering in the same spot, gradually rising from the ground in a jelly-like shape. It is mysterious, unexplainable, yet strangely beautiful. There's a captivating elegance in the way it moves smoothly, reaching out for you. It gets closer, and you wonder if you should try to communicate with this unexplainable force. But before you can utter a word, the liquid spreads with tremendous speed, enveloping your body from your mouth to your feet. It forms a thin, wet layer over your skin and clothes, and compressing with the strength of a machine. The sound of your bones breaking is loud, echoing through the house. The liquid starts folding you from the feet upward. Your screams are drowned out by the cacophony of rain and snapping bones. It reaches your spine, bringing everything into endless shadow. Origami. Your body is found like a human origami. Ending 3. That's new and incredibly painful. Throw a towel over the liquid. In your haste, you dart to your room and grab a blanket instead of a towel, something big enough to soak up the entire puddle. You cast it over the kitchen floor and watch as it slowly drinks out the liquid. With fresh raindrops falling and melting into the blanket begins to move. Wait and see what happens. I think this is the same as before, right? It might be curiosity, but you remain still, watching the blanket rise and take on a ghostly shape. It moves closer, and you wonder if you should try to I think it's the same. It moves closer, and you wonder if you should try to communicate with its unexplainable force. But before you can utter a word, the blanket leaps at you with tremendous speed, fully enveloping you from head to toe. You try to. Oh no, it's different. You try to scream, but the blanket tightly seals your mouth, wrapping around you tightly. Pressure and pain mount as you breathe through your nose, hearing the sound of your bones snapping. As your broken ribs tighten around your lungs, you fade into endless darkness. Damn. Your body is compressed into a floating red ball, contained by the blanket full of the mysterious liquid that rained down from the cloud. Meh. That's kind of an overreaction. I just threw a towel at you. Why you kill me, bro? Build a hole on the window. In a hurry, I accidentally hit my microphone again, sorry. In a hurry, you grab a pan and place it over the hole in the window. A pan. Seeing that it's a perfect size, but it won't stay on its own. You grab some tape and force the pan to remain in place, covering the hole while the tape seals the cracks. Now, the raindrops hit the metal, creating a haunting sound like a strange musical instrument being played for the first time. As you apply the last pieces of tape, your foot slips briefly. Looking down, you realize you've stepped into the expanding pool of the liquid you've been warned to never touch. Scared and confused, you freeze, afraid to move. Your mind wavers between skepticism and fear, but the liquid won't wait for you to decide. The layer beneath your right foot stirs, spinning so fast that your bone snaps, and you collapse to your knees. The liquid rises, defying gravity, and begins to envelop you. It's a thin, wet layer over your skin and clothes. The sound of your bones is breaking loud, echoing through the house as the liquid starts folding you from the feet upward. Your screams are lost in the cacophony of the rain and the snapping bones. And again, human origami. What if we light a candle? You remain in the dark, but dare to light a candle. Its gentle glow illuminates your path through the house, yet it also casts a faint, haunting light visible through the window. Look out the window. As you reach the window, you see the wet drops running down the glass and wonder why you were taught to call it liquid instead of water. You watch the drops hitting the street, but there's something unusual about it. The rain falls in perfect order, drops side by side. You've seen something like this before. It's exactly like a shower. Take notes. You grab a pen and paper and start taking notes of what you see. even sketching the pattern of the falling rain, adding details. You remember the fear in the eyes of your grandma every time the cloud came, and how this fear was diluted in your parents and you, resulting in this handwritten file. As you write your thoughts, something absurd begins to happen. The liquid starts going back. It gathers over the asphalt and begins to travel upwards, like a reverse rain. What fell from the sky ascends, accompanied by a fake rain noise, echoing, pretending it's still falling. Without proper attention, one might think it's an illusion, but you see the reality. Fight for the truth. You document everything you've seen, and once the cloud is gone, you start interviewing people. You write a book about your findings, and the book is a success. People want answers from government, and you start a social movement. They have to let the people know about the cloud. Ending 7. So this is like the curious. And that's cool. Instead of taking notes, this time we open the window slightly. A daring experiment. You open a small window gap and wait for the right moment. As soon as a drop falls in the inner side of the window, you quickly lock it. Now you have a sample, something you can see closer, you can examine for yourself. Watch closer. A clean water drop sits on the side. It fell from outside a few seconds ago and it's still wobbly. In fact, the movement doesn't seem to be fading. It's constant. The mysterious fluid starts to slide towards the glass. From afar, one would believe it's some sort of insect crawling over the window. Stop it with a cup. You grab a cup and use it to block the path of the liquid, making it go idle for a second. It stays there, analyzing the surrounding glass and what's beyond it. Suddenly, the drop compresses itself and jumps, as fast as a bullet, breaking the glass and piercing your hand so swiftly that you can only feel your body retract. The drop hits the roof and bounces in all directions with extreme speed, slicing through your thigh like butter. It takes less than a second for it to travel around the room, piercing everything in its path. Now you're dizzy, blood spraying from multiple wounds. It's hard to breathe, the world is getting dark. You cough and fall to the ground, seeing a tooth that was removed from your mouth with flashing speed. Your body is found pierced hundreds of times. It will be hard to determine the correct number of wounds. The window is broken, and whatever attacked you is gone. Your body looks like cheese. What if you drink the water? Just this one little bit. What if we drink it? You have always wanted to see if it tastes like water, and surprisingly, it does. It disappears in your mouth, mixing with your saliva. It's a bit anticlimactic. You thought it would taste like something new, but it's just regular water falling from the sky. You wonder if it's some sort of social control experiment to see if people would question anything they're told by authorities. Seeing no danger in it, you decide to open the door and windows. As you reach the entrance of the house, you hit your head with uncontrollable force. The involuntary movements get stronger and force you again and again. The blood runs down your face as your entire body loses control and keeps trying to assert itself. You end up smashed against the door. Again, what if you used a candle on it? You hold the flame under it, making it form bubbles. The sound emits from it growing louder and louder. Determined to see how much it takes to evaporate it, you persist, not noticing a mysterious puddle sliding inside the house from under the door. As the puddle draws closer, it gains size, it takes on a human-like shape. It grabs your shoulder and turns you around. There's no time for reaction. The translucent humanoid in front of you hits you with the speed of a rocket. Another punch and your ribs are gone. You can't even scream for help. It's as if the sizzle of the small drop was a call for backup. ending 9. So that was The Cloud. If you like the video, please let me know by liking and subscribing, you know the deal. And if you like videos like this, then go to my channel, watch the other videos. I hope you like them, and see you next time. Bye.